All right, welcome back. You're watching Stop the Steal TV. It's a Liquid Lunch edition, but this time, every day now, will be spent bringing you the best experts, the best people who can talk about facts on the ground, the best people that can tell you where rallies are happening, where support is needed, where money is needed, because we need a full-fledged legal effort across many states here. And I got to tell you, this isn't just about like sit back and hope Rudy and Sidney, Powell and Lynn would do it. No. There are organizations sprouting up all over the country, particularly in swing states right now, that are reminiscent of the Tea Party movement. People are fed up. People are disgusted what's happening. They're just so angry with what's happening that, you know, you think about it and you say, wait a minute, that just happened? Right before my very eyes, they actually stole it, and we're going to just sit there and do nothing about it? So take a look at this video, okay? Dominion items can be bought on eBay, apparently. You got to see this, okay? Check out this video, and then we'll talk about it.
So interesting was, I assumed coming into it that the big manufacturers, companies like ES&S and Dominion, had provided these machines to the hackers to, you know, field test them. But no, it turns out there's an extremely hostile relationship there, and that ES&S and Dominion and other companies have basically said we don't want to participate, and really have been quite aggressive in saying we don't want to be part of this. So the organizers were reduced to finding these machines on eBay, which right there is pretty terrifying, because it turns out that anybody can buy some of the most common machines in use on eBay. What was really alarming was when you see these hackers, and these are people who've never seen these machines before, have had no practice on them for the most part, come in and engage them, they immediately get into the guts of them. Beyond that, we were seeing Dominion's image cast system. It's a line of tabulators that paper ballots are fed into. That had its guts all over the room. It was not clear to us whether this was the most recent version of the image cast hardware, but it's important to know that Georgia just spent over is about to spend over $100 million on a contract with Dominion to provide image cast hardware to the state in time for the for the next primaries and for the 2020 election. And yet here these kids were who had opened it up. They said, look, you can pop the front off of it, and here's a port you can get into right here. That's easy. You know, all kinds of stuff that you could certainly do within 6 minutes behind a curtain, much less if you had extra time, because any of these were connected to the web, as we discovered a couple of days before. So many of them are.
So let me explain something to you here, okay? And that, you know, for those of you who aren't that technologically advanced, okay, and I'm not great at it, I understand the nuts and bolts. I've been in the financial technology business. You can see right here, I used to be a Wall Street entrepreneur. Well, I still am a Wall Street entrepreneur, but I spend my days right now talking about how we got to stop the steal, okay? But when it comes down to tech, let me tell you, this may sound crazy, but real tech companies, what happens is when you got something that's a paradigm changer, when you got some new technology that you're going to roll out, like years ago, I was the vice president of a company called T0. It was the first company in America that actually did a digital security offering on the blockchain using this new technology that supports cryptocurrency. And everyone was looking at me like, JT, you're crazy. Okay, and I wrote the patents. You can go look it up. I got one of the first patents on cryptocurrency issued in this country. So I understand a little about technology, okay? When you roll out something new, what you do is you sponsor something called a hackathon, okay? And you may put a program out there and you bring some of the best and brightest data scientists and programmers in the world and you say, go at it, boys and girls. Hack it, break it, okay? And the way you figure out if you've built something that's solid and strong and scalable is you open source it out to some brilliant people and beg them, even pay them to try to break it. So when you hear about a company like Dominion and Election Systems and Software, and they're afraid to provide their technology or software to a hackathon, then it starts making you think, well, wait a minute. Why wouldn't they want the brightest minds in the world to check out this piece of equipment and make sure that it's not hackable? Why would they not expose it? You want to know why? because they know these hackers are smart. Just like the guy we just showed you who hacked a Dominion machine within 7 minutes, okay? So they don't want to participate in things that are roundly common, like a hack me, hurt me, okay? I don't mean hurt me in a bad way, but hurt me, okay? Hurt my equipment, okay? And, you know, we keep hearing this term glitch. It's a little glitchy, okay? Sidney Powell, who I happen to think is a highly credible attorney. She's represented Michael Flynn. She's kept him out of jail. And she's someone that has quite the reputation. And lawyers don't usually go on the record categorically. They usually kind of put some qualifier. Well, I think, to the best of my knowledge, to the best of my record, there's always some qualifying statement. She's putting things on the record that have no wiggle room in them. They're very binary. She says the head of the CIA, Gina Haspel, should be fired tomorrow. That doesn't leave any room for interpretation, okay? Lynn Wood, who's also one of the plaintiffs in Georgia, he's out there saying Governor Brian Kemp and Raffensperger, the Secretary of State, they should open a new session of their legislature. They should call a special session. Then he should resign. And then he should plead guilty, go to prison, and finally ask for a cell next to the Secretary of State, who he thinks also will go to prison. So when you have these hugely credible lawyers saying categorical things that leave them open to libel, slander, all of the kind of lawsuits, and they're making unqualified statements, rest assured, like John Snyder said, Trump is doing a combo shot here. He's hitting the cue ball into the 5 ball, into the 7, banking the 8, into the boom. Okay? There's a monster compound problem that we're facing here. And if you think Trump, who's only been saying this for 2 years, that they're going to try to rig the election in the last 6 months, he said it many times, listen to what Sidney Powell says on just how Dominion uses their software.
Let me get this straight, and it's a real important point here. Dominion voting machines were in numerous states, numerous counties. There's some sort of software backdoor, not unlike most phones will have a backdoor, but this will actually calculate and tell the person accessing the backdoor what type of voting percentages and what type of numbers are needed to change the win for a certain party, for a certain candidate.
Exactly. They can watch the voting real time. They run a computer algorithm on it as needed to either flip votes, take votes out, or alter the votes to make a candidate win.
So that's different. Now this is even different. I just really want to be very, very careful here and be very meticulous about this. It's one thing to be able to watch it and decide how much more input you need to change the number, but now you're saying there's an actual way to change the total, the vote tallies within the system?
That's exactly right.
That's a very, very big claim there. I mean, that would be voter fraud defined right there. What's the next step?
It's massive criminal voter fraud writ large across at least 29 states. It could have been happening. Anytime a voting machine was connected to the internet, and we have evidence that many were, it was obviously happening. It's obvious from the algorithm and the statistics that our experts are tracking out for batches of votes and when the curves changed. And it's going to blow the mind of everyone in this country when we get it all together and can explain it with the affidavits and the experts that have come forward.
All right.